Well, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jim. We have our next load. We're doing something slightly out of the ordinary because we already have the bill of lading for some reason. I don't know why, but they had it sent to the dispatcher, and the dispatcher had us swing by the office to pick it up on our way between stops, between our previous stop and this delivery where we're at right now. They're still unloading us. We're in Knoxville, Georgia, but we are going to be going just a little bit west to Carrollton, Georgia, to pick up our load, and then we are going someplace that we have not been as a channel before, but it's not too far from where we've been a bunch of times. We're going to Arkansas, or Arkansas as I like to call it, but we are going to be delivering tomorrow in Paragould, Arkansas, at the Prismium Cable and Systems. I don't know what we're going to be carrying yet. I do have the bill of lading. Like I said, they sent it to the dispatcher, and the dispatcher had us come by and pick it up, but I don't know what it is, and I don't know why they did that. That's very unusual. But yeah, we're going to head out that way, and that's just north of Memphis, so really it's not that far away from somewhere we've been a lot as a channel over the past couple of months. But yeah, that's the load. I'll see you soon. Is telling us this is how we need to go, and it is not how we need to go.
turn right.
Yeah.
After 500 feet, turn left onto Gitty Road. Now turn left. After a quarter of a mile, take the second exit of the traffic circle.
Alright, let's try this again. That was clearly not the right place to go in.
Take the second exit of the traffic circle.
Won't make the mistake we made last time of going to the left there. Although it does not have a no truck sign.
After a quarter of a mile, turn left onto Gitty bypass.
Alright. Truck route. That would have been useful to see before.
Now turn left.
I mean, they have signs up all over the place. No trucks, no trucks, no trucks. Truck Path has no idea that any of those signs exist. So, we're in Carrollton, Georgia. Clearly, Carrollton has not been communicating with whatever cartography companies need to know about all the no truck routes. They just stick up a sign and say, oh, that's good enough.
After half a mile, keep left.
They'll figure it out. Clearly not. This is actually the street we need to be on. And it connects to where we were.
After 400
But there was a big no trucks, no right turn for trucks and no left turn for trucks. So we were not allowed to turn onto
Now
this
turn
road
left.
from the other side of it.
After 3/4 of a mile, turn left.
sign up there. I doubt the front camera can even make out that sign, but it does say Dixie Converting Corporation. Take a left here. That's where we need to be. That's where we're going. Glad we're not coming in here in the dark. I would not have been able to see that sign.
Route recalculation. After a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Spitland Chapel Road. Now turn right.
Well, we're going straight. I know why it's trying to turn us right, and that's because I just tried to drop in a waypoint to help me figure out where we were going.
After a quarter of a mile, you will reach your waypoint. The waypoint will be on your right. Recalculation.
I was just trying to find a route, and I was looking for the biggest route I could find. So I dropped a waypoint out on that road.
After
But
900 feet, turn
I
right
think
onto
we're
Simple
good
High
now.
Road. Now turn right.
Seein. This way.
You have reached your waypoint. It's on your right.
I bet these folks are not real popular with the local residents. Simply because they've got to have trucks coming in and out of here all the time. And those trucks are using GPSs that don't know the proper route in here. Back all the way up to that door. I'm going to go check in.
Yes, James.
Hey Alex, so I made it to the shipper, but they apparently double booked the load and we did not get here first.
Who double booked the load? You
Um,
already shipped that load?
they already shipped the load.
With the pickup number I gave you?
It was correct. And they apparently had another driver show up with the same bill of lading and the same pickup number.
I got you. Okay, be there. I'll let you know.
All right. So, yeah, that happened. Checking in was not a simple process. As you just heard me telling my dispatcher, apparently the broker or maybe the shipper double booked it, and we got it second. Or we got here second, otherwise we would have gotten the load. It's already been shipped. I expected him to freak out about it, but he didn't. So I'm sure he is contacting his broker at the moment and reading him a riot act, but I don't know if it's the broker's fault or the shipper's fault. So, and neither does he. So maybe the broker's the one that got screwed over by the shipper. It is a Coyote Logistics load. We run a lot of loads with them, so my guess is he has a pretty good relationship with this particular broker. So I'm betting it's not the broker's fault. But yeah. So we are going to just kind of sit here for a little bit because we ain't got nowhere to go, and wait for him to sort it out, and then we will get out of here and probably go pick up another load somewhere else. Now the company, what will happen when the company gets a situation like this is we'll probably get what they call TONU pay, TONU, which stands for truck ordered not used. So the broker will have to pay the carrier some amount of money. Now what will happen to me is the mileage that it took to get me here will just get added on to whatever my next load is. So I'll get paid for the time coming out here and the mileage coming out here, but we're gonna have to go somewhere else to pick up a load, because obviously this is not the right place. Or, well, it is the right place. This just, they don't have our load anymore. Oh, battery's getting low. Yep. Getting low. Gotta charge it. Real quick, we're heading to Love's right back by the interstate to wait things out. Just talked to the dispatcher. He's finding us another load. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so we have our next load. This is the replacement load for the one we just tried to pick up that was going out to Arkansas. That obviously isn't going to happen. We had just enough time to get to the Love's back on I-20, grab lunch, and I was finishing up lunch when I got my text that we have our next load. So we are currently on our way north to Dalton, Georgia, which is about 90 miles from where we were in Carrollton. And we're picking up from Carrollton and running up to Bristol, Virginia. It's not a particularly long load. It's a 230 mile load. Normally I would take issue with that, but because we need to be back home on Wednesday, I'm sure that my dispatcher, I was wondering how we were going to work this if we were losing that load. That load out to Arkansas, most likely we would have just dropped off there in Arkansas, picked up something in the Memphis area and brought it back to Atlanta, and that would have been our week. That would have been that would have had us back delivering in the Atlanta area on Wednesday, and then being off in plenty of time to go to my daughter's graduation. Now, obviously, if we had lost that, when we lost that load, I was concerned that we were going to wind up going somewhere else that would be too far away for us to be able to catch a load back to Atlanta. But my dispatcher is a pretty good dispatcher, and there's one thing I can say that's really good about this company is they do a good job of keeping me, of getting me home when I need to be home. I have yet, in the multiple years off and on of running with them, I have yet to miss a home time or miss any family events that I gave them ample notice that I needed to be home for. So they're really good about that. I'll give them credit on that. But I think that's why we're going to Bristol, is because it delivers tomorrow morning. So we can basically pick up something around that vicinity and just bring it back to Atlanta and be back Wednesday morning. That'd be my guess. It would make the most sense. Unfortunately, it means I'm going to get less mileage because we're only going 230 miles up to Bristol. Technically 330 when you factor in the deadhead. So we're going up to Bristol and coming back. From Bristol back home is not a very long drive. And so whatever our next load is will be our homeward bound load. And it just won't be a very long one, would be my guess. And frankly, I'll take it. I'm not going to complain that it's a short load, because the reason it's a short load is because I need to be home on Wednesday. And we would have had more mileage this week if that load hadn't gotten screwed up, but it did. This is the next best thing. Let's go.
Now turn left and then you will reach your destination.
This is the place.
You have reached your destination. The destination is on your left.
I'm gonna guess one of these two doors. But before I make the mistake of picking the wrong one, I'm gonna go check in. Inside, so that. See you on the flip side. Alrighty, we are loaded. Let's take a look to see what 33,000 pounds of flooring adhesives looks like. My guess is it's boxes. No, it is not boxes. It is buckets. And it's way up there. So I think we can slide the tandems all the way to the front. Let's get this seal on here real quick. And let's get out of here. All right. Let's roll.
Way station 14.0 miles ahead. Now turn right.
We are on our way to Bristol, Virginia, which means we have to go through Chattanooga. It's 5:15, and we are going to be hitting, we're in Dalton, Georgia, which, if y'all don't know where that is just south of Chattanooga on the Georgia side. It is the home of Shaw Flooring, which would explain why we have flooring adhesives. This wasn't actually Shaw, but that seems to be the area specialty is flooring. Dalton is mostly known for Shaw plants, but apparently there's a lot of flooring related stuff in the area as well. So we are going to be hitting I-75 here in just a moment, and that will take us across the line. There's the Shaw plant right over there to the right, one of many of them in the area. I think we're going to be hitting up I-40 going east once we get up into Chattanooga, and from there I'm not really sure. I haven't really taken a detailed look at the map. I should have made use of my time, better use of my time at least, while I was sitting there in their little driver jail. I complain a lot, right? You guys know that I complain a lot. Well, one of the things that I complain the most about, but fortunately doesn't happen very often, is when they put you in driver jail because you're a little kitty that needs to be monitored and supervised while they're loading your trailer. Basically, when you get into a location, they say, okay, go ahead and back it into the dock, then come inside and sit here in this little area and don't go anywhere and put your keys in the bucket, because we can't trust you to sit in your truck while we load you. I don't know what the logic behind that is. It's probably some safety thing. Maybe it's some OSHA thing. I don't really know. But it's exceedingly rare, fortunately. But it does happen from time to time, and I hate it. Because, first of all, they're treating you like a little kid, and they're not trusting you to sit in your truck where it's comfortable while they load you, even though everybody else in the industry does. Second of all, a lot of times they don't have bathrooms available for you. They didn't have a bathroom here. I'm pushing 50. When my bladder says I gotta go, I got to go. But they had signs up that says no public restrooms. You know, if I'd have been allowed to sit in my truck, well, I have other solutions for that. But I wasn't. So yeah, I don't like driver jail. But anywho, we are about to hit the highway. On our way to Bristol. I have not even bothered to look. Let's take a quick look at the ELD and see how many hours we've got left to drive. We have a few.
Now join the highway.
We have 4 hours and 48 minutes to drive. GPS is telling me we're going to be in Bristol inside of 4 hours. So I can really park anywhere I want to along this route.
Follow the highway.
And I have not even bothered to attempt to locate a good spot for parking tonight. So while I'm sitting in Chattanooga traffic, most likely, I'll also be looking for a spot to stop for. Come to think of it, since we're headed this direction and we're about to get into Chattanooga traffic, one of our viewers, and I can't remember who it was, wanted to say it was John, a long time ago, when we first started the channel, mentioned an alternate route that goes around Chattanooga. And if I'm not mistaken, it's US 41, which we're about to get to that exit, and then over to Georgia 71, which bypasses Chattanooga. I'm going to give that a shot. We're not particularly heavy. We're coming right up on the exit, 336. So I'm going to try that out and see what happens. Folks, so we made it to Knoxville. Still had plenty of time left on the clock, but I went ahead and stopped for the night because it was getting close to bedtime. It was definitely late enough that we were going to run into issues finding parking if I wanted to keep going, and I did want to take a shower, so got that done. While I was in there, I did look up at the old comments, and I was right. It was John that recommended that detour, so thank you for that. I don't think it saved me any time because of all the stoplights, at least not versus doing I-75 through Chattanooga traffic at 5:30 in the afternoon. So I don't know that it's a time saver, but it was certainly a much nicer route. I will probably take that again in the future. just so that I don't wind up sitting in traffic on I-75. Especially if I have a lighter load. I don't know that I would do that if I had a heavy load, unless it was so heavy that I would stick the scales, but that almost never happens anymore. Companies are pretty good about not overloading you. So yeah, I think going forward I will probably make use of that with lighter loads if I wind up going through around that same time of day, because it definitely, although it's not a time saver, it's a much nicer route. So thank you, John. And I'm headed back to the truck now to go to bed, and I will see y'all in the morning. Figure this one out. So we got to figure out how to get back out of this parking lot, which I shouldn't have pulled in here because there's not enough room to turn around. I'm going to probably have to drive on the grass a little bit to get out of here. I'm pretty sure that location right there is where we need to be delivering. But that gate right there is locked and nobody's answering the phone. I can't even get my dispatcher on the phone. So while I figure this out, I am going to work on getting out of here. Okay, we made it. Basically, this parking lot is where we were, and it is not big enough for a truck to be in here. But I was able to get in just by hard lefting off of the street there and into the driveway, and then I was able to get into the parking lot. Now getting back out, there was no way to do a U-turn in here, so I wasn't going back out forward. I had to back all the way back out. And I didn't record this because I needed to focus on what I was doing. But what I was trying to do was to take my trailer and kind of back it down there and then blindside it so the trailer was pointing up the street. But I just, unfortunately, this grass right here, the drop off right here, I don't know if it shows up real good on the camera, but there's a pretty sharp drop right here. So I was worried that when I brought my tractor nose down here, I would cause myself all kinds of issues with this little slope right here. So what I wound up doing is essentially the reverse of how we got in here, and I essentially jackknifed the trailer. You can kind of see the tire marks. I jackknifed the trailer so that it wound up back in that right lane, and then I was able to get the nose of my truck and the tractor all around and followed it, and then we just kind of backed up the street far enough that you can see we're still out in the street because the gate's closed, but we're at least not blocking traffic. And this isn't a very busy street either, but and then I was able to get turned in, and we're now pushed up against the gate, at least out of the way, while we wait for the receiver to send somebody over. And I've been in contact with him. He finally answered, or he finally called me back, and they're sending somebody over to let me in and get me unloaded. Now, what he told me is that we were supposed to contact them 24 hours in advance, and this load was supposed to deliver yesterday, and that we were supposed to let them know when we were going to be here so that they could have somebody to meet us here. Of course, the shipper didn't tell us that. And I don't think the shipper told the broker that, so the broker couldn't tell us that. It is what it is. They didn't know we were coming, and we didn't know we had to let them know we were coming. So I'm here and they're not, and but fortunately I was able to get them on the phone, and they're sending somebody over. But now we just sit and wait. More or less blocking. I can pull forward just a little bit. I'm about that far from the fence, but I don't think I can pull forward enough to make it much of a difference. So we're gonna sit here and wait until they get here and let us in and get us unloaded. Fortunately, once they get here, looks like there's enough room to maneuver around in there. Worst case scenario, I can cut up to the right up there and then back the trailer that direction. What he told me is they're building, that's a Hard Rock casino right over there, that they're building, and this is the staging area for materials. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get unloaded, how long it's going to take them to get somebody here, but we're here at least. Well, we managed to get one pallet off so far using the forklift. I actually had backed up to the ramp here, but the back of the trailer sits about right here. Too low, and even with this pulled up, it was about 6 inches too low. So what they're working on now, they went over to the construction site and they're going to bring back one of those forklifts that has the extension. So they're going to reach in, pull the pallets off, then bring them over here and hand them off to that forklift, which will take them back into the warehouse. Yeah, hillbilly engineering, right? But it's going to get the job done. Of course, it just started to rain too, so that makes it less fun or more fun, depending on how you look at it. We thought about maybe putting some dunnage up here that I could back up on top of, but they just decided that it would be easier to bring over one of those big forklifts. So that's what we're waiting on right now. Looking at these marks here on the ground, and based on the fact that our trailer sits low on this ramp, my guess is what they did when this place was operational is those marks are because of some sort of a platform that they had mounted here that trucks would back up onto to level them out, to get them level with the dock. Now obviously the dock itself is rusted, and this joint right here, it does not come up. This moves, but there's no way to raise the ramp. So I don't know how they used to do it, but that's how I would have done it. Well, hopefully I get some driver assist pay on that, because man am I beat. Basically it turned out to be a three-man job. The long forklift was used to move things from the back of the trailer to the dock, and I manned the pallet jacks inside the trailer, bringing it to the front so he could do that. And then the other guy manned the forklift on the inside of the warehouse. So I'm exhausted. But that brings us to the end of this load. We already have our next load, and I have requested driver assist pay, but we'll see. Whew. If you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. If not, better luck next time. Please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next load. Peace. Just one last note, because I'm sure somebody's going to say, well, you shouldn't have done the work if you weren't going to get paid for it. Well, I come from a background with I have a get her done mentality. If I hadn't have chipped in, I'd probably still be sitting there waiting on something, and not able to get to my next load. And frankly, I just wanted to get it done. I am not above pitching in if the need arises. I will, and I have already asked for driver assist pay. I don't know if we're going to get it, but I've asked for it. At this point, it comes down to pushing for the broker to give it to us, and that's, and he's going to push back and say, well, why didn't you tell me in advance that you were going to need driver pay? I wouldn't have given you the load if you needed driver pay. Well, it's their own damn fault that they don't have a proper functioning dock. That's the reason I need the driver pay, but oh well. It is what it is, and we got her done. So that's the end of that. Time for the next video.